I feel so bad for this kid. The Yankees got some devastating news about their rookie phenom, the Martian, Jasson Dominguez. Also, this catcher right here saved a no-hitter. The Angels are open to trading Mike Trout. I never thought I would hear those words. We'll dive into that later on in the video. And Kyle Tucker of the Astros, yeah, he made some MLB history yesterday versus the Padres. All of that in today's MLB Recap, a series in which we recap every single game almost every single day. And a reminder, use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save 20 bucks off. So before the Yankees game, Jasson Dominguez was scratched from the lineup, and it came out after, actually midway through this game, that Jasson suffered a torn UCL, the same injury that Ohtani's going through, the same injury that Bryce Harper came back from in like 6 months. So there is a positive prognosis and a precedent for Jasson, considering Harper came back pretty fast, the fastest ever, I think. But Jasson, I feel so bad for him. 20 years old, he's got plenty of time ahead of him, but again, I just feel awful for him. Corbin Burnes and Garrett Cole engaged in an old-fashioned duel. That is not me stuttering, that is a Yu-Gi-Oh reference. If you know, you know. But no, I'm serious. Cole versus Burnes was sick. Cole, he's trying to win his first ever Cy Young, and he lowered his season ERA to 2.79. He went 7 shutout with 9 strikeouts, only 3 hits allowed. Corbin Burnes, he has a Cy Young, and he flexed his Cy Young stuff with 8 no-hit innings. He used his cutter and sinker combination to perfection. Just the Cole and the Yankees bullpen, they were just as stingy. Now, because Milwaukee has playoff aspirations, they do not want Corbin Burnes to get injured. He came out after 110 pitches. Devin Williams, he struck out 2 to preserve the no-hitter in the 9th inning. And Abner Uribe, he also struck out 2, and he got saved by Sal Frelick. The no-hitter is still intact after 10 innings. Look at Sal Frelick flying over there in right field. Center fielder Joey Wiemer took an elbow to the face, but he was okay. Milwaukee, they finally scored the game's first run, and then Oswaldo, he ties it on New York's first base hit. It took 11 innings to get 1 base hit, and I told you that Joey Wiemer was going to be okay. He doubled in 1, and a sac fly made it 3-1 Milwaukee, and it's tied again. I'm going to go ahead and just skip to it. After Giancarlo Stanton hit a 2-run home run, Kyle Higashioka, he had a walk-off double. That was a really long game. That was also a terrible timed loss for the Brewers because Chicago, they came to play versus the Diamondbacks. Seiya, he stayed hot with an RBI double, and then the Cubs, they teed off for 3 home runs and 1 single inning. Christopher Morel, he has 21 on the season. Bellinger has 25 now. It almost doesn't feel real to say that Cody Bellinger is hitting .318 with 25 home runs, 20 stolen bases, and an almost 145 OPS plus. From 2021 to 2022, he hit 193 with a 66 OPS plus. Dansby Swanson hit the longest home run of the 3. He's now in the 20 home run club. He singled in another RBI in the 5th inning. I know that Braves fans are happy with Orlando Arcia, but still kind of sad that the hometown kid Dansby ended up leaving. Hendricks, he just missed a quality start. He went 5 1/3. You have to go 6 innings to qualify. Julian Merriweather, he struck out 2 for his first save. And just because I'm petty, months ago someone called me out for believing in Julian Merriweather. The dude has a 1.5 ERA and 34 strikeouts over his last 23 innings. He has 90 strikeouts in 65 innings. He shreds. With that W, the Cubs are back to 3 games of first place in the NL Central, and we have some breaking news. They're calling up reinforcements. They are bringing up Pete Crow Armstrong. He has some of the best defensive tools I've ever seen from an outfield prospect, and on top of that, he has 20 home runs and 37 stolen bases in 107 games. The Cubs got him in the Javier Baez trade a few seasons ago from the Mets. This Pete Crow Armstrong kid could be a difference maker. Now, if the Cubs don't catch the Brewers, they'll still have the wild card, but both of these teams we're going to talk about right now, the Marlins and the Phillies, they're also going for a wild card spot. The Marlins, they really need to win this game because the Diamondbacks just lost and Arizona is ahead of them in the wild card. But Miami, they had their hands full, obviously. Trey Turner is hitting .380 with 14 home runs and 36 RBIs in 31 games since that standing ovation. Schwarber, he has 43. He is closing in fast on the MLB lead. Those 3 runs were for Philly starting pitcher Ranger Suarez, who was dealing through 6. He held the Marlins hitless through 6 shutout innings. He had a bunch of strikeouts as well. That was until the 7th when Miami, they finally broke through. Brian De La Cruz, he took a walk, and then rookie Dane Myers, he broke the no-hitter with 1 out, and then Yuli, he brought home both of those guys, De La Cruz and Myers, to make it a 1-run game. Just kidding, it's tied now. Nick Fortes, he brought home Yuli, and then, oh man, Brian De La Cruz straight up rakes. He plays spoiler again. After getting no hit for 6 innings, the Marlins, they snatched the lead with a long 2-run home run. Sir Anthony Dominguez, he has been terrible lately. The Phillies, they got 1 back on a Castellanos double, but it wasn't enough because Tanner Scott, he's been him ever since he became the closer again. He's got 7 saves as the Marlins win 5-4. Miami is now 8-2 over their last 10. They're just a half game back of the Diamondbacks for that final wild card spot. And the Giants, they're fighting as well. They can get to 1.5 games back of the Diamondbacks with a W over the Rockies. Hunter Goodman, he legged out his second 2-run triple of the series. He has has 6 extra base hits and 12 RBIs in his first 12 games. San Francisco, they got back into it pretty quick with Luis Matos making it a 1-run game on a double, and now it's tied up. Thairo Estrada, he had 14 home runs and 21 stolen bases in 140 games last year. He has 12 home runs and 20 stolen bases already this year in just 101 games. San Francisco, they're going to go ahead and sweep the Rockies. They officially eliminate Colorado from playoff contention. Mitch, he blasted off for a go-ahead 2-run home run. Jock, he ripped one. He is 16 home runs away from 200 for his career. Camilo Duvall has 37 saves. The Giants, they're playing good baseball lately. The Giants have won 3 in a row, so that basically means this is a must-win game for the Reds. I mean, not really. There's still 17 games left, but they'll fall to 2.5 games back of the wild card spot if they can't beat the Cardinals. Jonathan India, he's back from the IL. He has 15 home runs. Will Benson, this dude rakes. I'm so mad that Cleveland traded him for basically nothing. Benson has 10 home runs, 15 stolen bases, and an insane 131 OPS plus. Now, remember how we talked about Burns and Garrett Cole earlier? Hunter Green, he basically matched their production. Hunter Green had 9 punch-outs over 6 shutout, and the best part, he only allowed 1 hit over 6 innings. Now, he did walk 4, but that's going to happen when you throw a billion miles an hour. Cincinnati, they ripped it open again in the 6th. Spencer Steer, he singled in TJ Friedl. Nick Martini, he got all the way to 3rd on an RBI triple, and here comes the pop again. TJ Friedl has 13 home runs, 24 stolen bases, and 5 outs above average defensively. He's a wizard. Joey Votto has 356 home runs, so 3 teams are within 1.5 game of the Diamondbacks for that final wildcard spot in the NL, so you can't miss any of these videos. Click that subscribe button. The Padres were taking on the Astros in Houston, and Jose Altuve wants some respect put on his name, and you will not find any Jose Altuve slander on this channel. He has a 160 OPS plus since last year. He's hitting .304 with 28 home runs and 26 stolen bases with a .904 OPS over his last 162 games. Rookie JP France, he had a great day. 5 strikeouts over 6 innings. He allowed 1 run on the night. And then Kyle Tucker, he made some history in the 6th inning. He legged out not just 1, but 2 RBI triples in 1 single inning. So that is the 12th time in Major League Baseball history that a player has had 2 triples in 1 single inning. Tucker had 0 triples coming into this game, and then of course he collects 2 in 1 inning. Check out his season stats. He's hitting .290 with 32 doubles, 26 home runs, an AL best 103 RBIs, 28 stolen bases, a 142 OPS plus. Those are MVP level numbers. He's not going to win it because Ohtani was Jesus Christ in cleats this year, but Kyle, he's entering his prime. Ohtani is not going to pitch in 2024. Who knows? Maybe we could see a Tucker versus Judge race in 2024. I have no idea. So we just saw the Astros embarrass the Padres. Let's see if the Rangers can keep up and hopefully beat the A's. Not hopefully, I'm not an A's hater, but they have to keep up in the standings. Marcus Semien, he could be a sneaky little Hall of Fame player. That might sound crazy, but I'm being serious. We'll talk about that later. He hit a home run right before Robbie Grossman laced a 2-run double, and good thing he did that because Oakland, they got right back into it. Tyler Soderstrom, he has power for days, and Oakland, they actually ended up stealing the lead on all-around bad baseball from the Rangers, but not to fear. Oakland's defense is here. After giving up the lead on an error, Texas, they got it back on some errors from Oakland. They scored 2 in the 5th, and yeah, the Rangers ended up teeing off to end this one. Semien and Seager, they went back-to-back. Marcus, for the 2nd time this week, had 2 home runs and 4 base hits. Marcus Semien has the MLB record for most home runs in a single season by a second baseman. He's leading the AL in hits right now. He also has 14 stolen bases, a 125 OPS plus, and 11 outs above average. He has a 41 WAR in his career, and he's aging like fine wine, so if he can get to 60 WAR, who knows? Same with Seager, he's aging like fine wine. 30 home runs. He leads the AL with a .336 batting average. The Rangers offense is real. They just need Scherzer, Montgomery, Dunning, and Evaldi to pick it up. So the Astros win big. The Rangers also win big. Now we got to find the Mariners game and figure out what the heck is going on in the AL West. Bryce Miller, he got roughed up a bit by the Rays offense. 2 scored on a ringing Harold Ramirez double. A few more scored on RBI doubles, and it was 5-0 after 3. Josh Lowe, he is having one of the better underrated rookie seasons ever. He's hitting .283 with 18 home runs and 28 stolen bases with a 123 OPS plus. Luke Raley rakes. He had an RBI double as well. He's got a 125 OPS plus. It seems like everyone on the Rays can fly on the bases and has a 120 OPS. Zach Eflin, he allowed 3 over 5, but he does pick up his 14th win. Pete Fairbanks, more like Pete Unfairbanks. He struck out all 3 humans that he faced. He has 22 saves. So let's check out the AL West. The Rangers have won 2 in a row. The Mariners have lost 3 in a row. So Houston, they're up by 2.5 games in the West, where you have the Rangers at a half game back of Seattle for 2nd place and that final wildcard spot. Staying with teams fighting for a wildcard spot in the AL, Toronto, they had to face a real-life buzzsaw in Cole Ragans. Cole just won Pitcher of the Month, and then he proceeded to toss 5 more shutout innings in Toronto's face. Those 5 shutout meant that he had gone 26 consecutive innings without allowing a single run to score. But in the 6th inning, the dude must have seen demons. I have never seen anything like this in my entire life. From 26 straight scoreless innings to 3 straight wild pitches to lose his streak and the lead. I'm not joking. Like, it got so bad, people were making memes that Reagans had Blue Jays money line, that he bet on the Blue Jays. Obviously, he didn't do that, but yeah, that was the game. Barrios, he had a quality start. He went back out for the 7th. He had 7 strikeouts over 7. Kiermaier, I mean, this dude has been insane this year. A 111 OPS plus, 13 stolen bases, 11 outs above average. He has 150 DRS since 2015. He's a top 5 defender ever, in my opinion. Maybe the best defensive center fielder ever, not named Andrew Jones. So the Red Sox are still technically in that wild card race, and they also gained a game on the Mariners because even though Baltimore came out swinging, they scored 3 off of the youngster Brian Bayo. Bayo, he's going to get the W after Adam Frazier hit that RBI triple. Baltimore's defense unplugged itself. They allowed 2 to score on a terrible error from Luis Urias. Reese McGuire, he tied it up. His RBI triple made it 3-3, and then Devers, he stole the lead on an RBI single. Tristan Casas, he's a problem. Like, a big problem because he's a big person. Over his last 87 starts, he's hitting .292 with 21 home runs and an insane .940 OPS. Through his first 155 big league games, he's got 29 home runs, a near .370 on base percentage. His tools are legit. The Boston Red Sox, they improved to 3 games over 500, and they're still kind of in it at 6 games back of the wild card. Holy pitching duel. Tyler McGill and Pablo Lopez must be allergic to allowing runs. These 2 guys combined for 13 shutout innings. McGill, he went 5 shutout, while Pablo Lopez, he tore apart the Mets lineup. 2 base hits allowed, over 8 shutout. He had 14 strikeouts. That Luis Urias for Pablo Lopez trade is actually a win-win trade if you ask me. Each team got exactly what they needed. DJ Stewart, he wants to retire in a Mets uniform apparently because he's been playing his butt off. He wants a spot in 2024. He's hitting .325 with 21 home runs over his last 17 games. Those 2 runs were all she wrote. Ottavino, he struck out 2. The Mets, they win 2-zip. Now, before we talk about the Guardians and the Angels game, it was reported right before this game that the Angels would be willing to move Mike Trout if Mike Trout asked for a trade. So right now, he has a no-trade clause. But it also means that Mike Trout is not the one starting these rumors. The Angels are basically throwing a flyer out like, hey guys, if you want Mike Trout, he's available and we'll talk to him about it. He still owed $250 million, and who knows if Ohtani is going to come back. If LA stacked a Mike Trout trade on top of an Ohtani trade, they could have completely retooled their squad. Like, if you traded Trout and Ohtani back to back, they probably could have gotten 10 top 10 prospects, a few everyday players with high ceilings, but that was a missed opportunity. Hindsight is 2020. Are the Angels going to trade Mike Trout? Let me know in the comments, because I think a Mike Trout to the Phillies trade would be a lot of fun, and it would make sense because they have pitchers to get that trade done. Listen, I'm happy that Kenny Rosenberg picked up his first career W against the Guardians, and I'm happy because it allows me to rant. Tanner Bybee allowed 2 runs, which ultimately meant that Cleveland was going to lose because they only scored 1 run. Like, if you can't win a game when Tanner Bybee shoves and the Twins just lost, again, shout out to rookie Kenny Rosenberg. He went 5 shutout, 4 strikeouts, but Tanner Bybee allowed 2 base hits over 7. He struck out 8 and lost the game. He lost the game after Carlos Estevez secured his 30th save. Cleveland is dead last by far. They've only hit 109 home runs as a team. They're 21 behind the Nationals for 2nd place. We traded Yandy Diaz, Yainer Diaz, Nolan Jones, Will Benson. Yandy has 19 home runs. Yainer has 21. Nolan Jones has 15. Benson has 10. Just completely unacceptable. And GM Chris Antonetti, he has the nerve to say that power is not the problem in Cleveland. Yo, buddy, I don't know if you watch baseball in 2023, but singles and stolen bases do not win ball games. I love Cleveland more than I love myself, but that is awful, and I am terrified for the future because it seems like the wrong man is running the ship. All right, moving on to the Braves and Pirates game. Atlanta rookie Alan Winans, I think that's how you say his name, he carved up the Pirates, but Pirates starting pitcher Luis Ortiz, he carved up the Braves. They both got tagged for runs in the 6th. Pittsburgh went up 2 after RBI doubles from Brian Reynolds and Jack Sawinski. Luis Ortiz didn't strike out anyone, but he did allow a run, whereas Winans, he allowed 2, but he struck out 8 hitters. So it's 2-1 Pittsburgh in the 7th inning, and now it's not 2-1 Pittsburgh in the 7th. Ronald, he doesn't always hit home runs. Sometimes he can clutch up with long go-ahead singles. He played at Arcia and Harris. Michael Harris being a 9-hitter is nuts, by the way. Like, he's hitting .291 with 14 home runs and 20 stolen bases as a 9-hitter. Matt Olson is the first to 120 RBIs. He has 121 after that 2-run single. Iglesias, he has been untouchable lately. He's up to 29 saves. The Braves, they are 44 games over 500. The Dodgers were taking on the Nationals, and Jason Hayward, he knocked in a few on a 2-run single. And look at James Outman lifting off for his 19th home run of the season. He's not quite Cody Bellinger, but 19 home runs, 15 stolen bases, and 9 outs above average is absolutely sick production. Not really much else to talk about, to be honest. An RBI double ended the scoring for the Dodgers, and they're now 32 games over 500. The Dodgers, they're still pretty good. Spencer Torkelson, stay hot, kid. That's a 2-run double. He has 31 doubles on the season. Detroit, they ended up with 3, and rookie, this is a real name, by the way, rookie Sawyer Gipson Long picked up his first career W. He went 5 innings with 5 strikeouts, and he was crafty enough to escape a few jams. He only allowed 2 runs on the night in 338 minor league innings. He struck out 405 guys, so he could be a sneaky last-minute fantasy option for some of you out there. Alex Lang, he struck out 2. He has 23 saves. The Tigers beat the White Sox 3-2. So before we do today's Immaculate Grid, a quick update on the standings in the AL West. Again, we talked about it. The Mariners are 2.5 games back of the Astros. The Rangers, because they've won 2 in a row, they're 3 games back. And then in the NL Central, the Cubs are 3 games back of the Brewers for first place. The NL wild card is madness. The Reds and the Giants are tied at 1.5 games back of the Diamondbacks. The Marlins are a half game back of the Diamondbacks, so keep a lookout for the NL wild card. Remember to subscribe because, again, this could change every single day. And then in the AL wild card, the Rangers are a half game back of second place in the West and a half game back of the Mariners in the AL wild card, so yeah, stick around. It's going to be madness. I'm looking at today's Immaculate Grid. I feel like I can get this done in under a minute, so that's going to be the goal. Let's see if we can get this done in under a minute. The Pirates and the White Sox, Kenny Lofton. This guy is a Immaculate Grid superstar. 200 strikeout season for the White Sox. Jeez, I cannot believe that Lucas Giolito has fallen off that bat. 300 average season. Paul Konerko. See, the thing is, I'm not very fast at typing. A Pittsburgh and a National. Corey Dickerson. Come on, I got to speed this up a little bit. 200 Strasburg did 200. We have a 300 season for the Nationals. Ryan Zimmerman, maybe. I'm going to come back to that one. Carlos Santana. I cannot type. I'm so mad at myself. Here we go. A 200 strikeout season. Greinke. I'm going to go Zach Greinke. I feel like he's going to be, 87%. Hosmer. I know he had a good, come on, Hosmer. Who? Didn't Hanser Alberto? No, I don't know if he did. He didn't. I could have gone with Bryce Harper, and my small brain went with Hanser Alberto. Oh, Hanser Alberto was on the Orioles when he hit 305. I thought he was on the Nationals. That's where I messed up. Well, that sucks, but I appreciate you guys watching. That's going to be today's recap. If you enjoyed, leave a like. If you're brand new, hit that subscribe button. And remember, we post MLB The Show almost every single day on Fuzzy Gaming. I'll see you over there.